All right, fellas, we are back, and we're back here doing our thing on the show at BK with Serda, doing our thing as we are heading into. There you go. There you go, Steve. We're heading into like it's crazy, man. Look at this. We're really growing up. We're all almost in our 40s or in it. Don't give me that look. How far are you from 40, BK?
6 years?
That's close. That's almost.
I forgot BK is younger than me. It kind of hurts.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought I did in my mind and heart. I believed Serda was the baby here.
No. Somehow no. No.
Yeah, it stung. I wasn't prepared for it at all.
Hold on. I like to do this. Hold on. This is real time. If you're with us, you're on YouTube. We appreciate you joining us. Please like and subscribe. If you don't, you're just a mean person. And if you want to be a mean girl or mean boy, then by God, go ahead and do it. But please like and subscribe. When did you graduate high school? Because we went to the same high school. But
me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
2011.
Holy hell. Yeah. Wow. When did you graduate, Serda?
2008.
God, dog.
Yeah, I started high school when Serda graduated. And Ron, I think you were like 04, right?
Oh man, I completed my college career but before both of you graduated.
Were you graduated 04?
02. I am even. Yeah, first off, please do not ever make that face again and act like you were that floored again. Just a damn minute here, okay? That was unnecessary in every manner.
It was an accident. I apologize.
That was yes, 2002. I was, man, I went to Missouri Western for a year, and then my mom moved to Nashville as soon as I graduated high school. So then I went to Nashville. I went to Murfreesboro. I went to Middle Tennessee State, and I was back here after college in Kansas City in 08. So, whew, God, dog.
Yeah, wow. For some reason, I thought you were further along. I thought you graduated with my stepbrother. My stepbrother graduated in 05. I thought you were like the year prior to him.
Bro, I got married in 11.
Damn. Yeah, that'll do it.
I got married in September of 2011.
I was in like second or third grade, I guess, when like 9/11 happened. I guess we're coming up on what 25 years now.
Man.
I was in sixth grade. Miss Norris's class.
So,
I remember.
I was a senior in Tracy Creech's class.
We had
I don't think she's still there.
Experiences. They like hid the. They didn't allow the teachers to tell us anything about it because we were in elementary school at the time. We obviously had no comprehension of what was taking place. But you'd see like teachers sad and stuff about something. So my experience that day, I would imagine, was quite different than what you did.
How about that? We just sat and watched it the whole time. Okay, well, we're not near our 40s then. One is I'm 42, so I'm smack dab in there. But we are all having, different experiences in life and everything. Shout out to me. I just bought a new car, first time, 11 years. So I was rolling in that Toyota Camry. Very, very happy to.
I remember when you bought that.
I was going to say, yep.
We've actually known each other for a really long time now. And it doesn't seem like it's.
I know. How many cars have you had since I bought that?
A lot. I've been a lot of car. I've been a lot of car wrecks.
You've had every.
It's not my fault. I'm a good driver. I've been in a lot of car wrecks. Just bad luck.
Right. At some point,
one time I got
problem.
T-boned on the plaza on my way back from a press conference for the radio station.
Yeah, at some point you got to be a part of this as an issue. At some point, but I mean, I think you are a decent driver in my experience with you. Yeah, you've had at least 2 or 3. I was just in a fight, man. I was going to keep on rolling with it.
What did you have?
I had it. Oh, what did I have? I had a Toyota Camry, 2016, baby.
You had a 2016?
Yes.
I drive an 09 Honda Accord.
Yeah. Well,
My Honda Accord is as old as Serda graduating from.
I'm about to say, man, you are rolling
graduating
in
from
this bad.
college.
How many miles have you put on that puppy? Because I
got it from my grandpa. There are 90,000 miles on
what in the hell?
2009 Honda Accord. Yeah.
I've got
How's there only 90,000 miles?
He just like never drove the car, and
Oh,
so
no.
I got it, and there was 30.
That's crazy. I have a 2017 Mazda that's got 90,000 miles on it, and then
I got
50
mine.
when I got it.
Mine has 207 when I let that puppy go. I thought I could get more. I just I had an intervention basically about it's time. But you know, I'm good. New car, Serda's getting new home. So I mean, we're doing our thing here in our 30s and 40s, and so we're having a good time, and we'll see what the Chiefs want to do this year. This is a conversation, and if you have listened to and rolled with us from the beginning, we've been doing this for several years now. And we get here every year, and I tell you every year that I'm insanely nervous about Andy Reid because Andy Reid continues to act like he is still in the 90s and that he is doing what Mike Holmgren did and what Bill Walsh did and what all of the coaches that he came under did. And he just plays. Patrick Mahomes had 43 pass attempts in the preseason 3 years ago. 43 in the preseason. He had that many pass attempts, like 17, like he plays in the preseason. And I have always said every year, I do not need to see him. Get him out. I don't need to see him. And we always see him. And he always scares the hell out of us because he'll say, well, yeah, I think they'll play like a quarter. Like what? And then it's really just a drive. But then he'll keep playing them. He plays like when you think about the top coaches, Sean McVay never plays his top guys, right? I think Kyle Shanahan kind of falls into that a little bit too. He's one of the only coaches that plays his guys like that. And I am completely against it with Patrick Mahomes. I am changing my tune this year. I think Patrick Mahomes needs to play in the preseason. And I did not love the thought of what I was hearing from, and don't shake your head. I don't love the thought of what I was hearing from Andy.
All it took was an ACL tear, and he should play in the preseason.
And an LCL, yes. I didn't like hearing Andy kind of get into. I don't think he's going to go against the Rams. That's fine. I hope he goes against the Bucs in the second preseason game. You know he's not playing in the third one. I'm just saying, I know it's weird and a little ass backwards to think, oh yeah, I want him to play after, as Serda said, he tore his ACL, multiple ligaments, his LCL. Yeah, that's when I want to see him play. But fellas, not only do I think he should play, not only do I think he should do more than just hand the ball off to Kenny Walker, who, by the way, we're going to address Kenneth Walker. Do we know Kenneth Walker was about this? Can we just stop the car real quick? Did we know Kenneth Walker was a run down the sideline, fire the ball at the new safety, and then grab him and flip him on the ground? Kenneth Walker is over it. I didn't know.
Dude, he was doing training camp in Seattle, and now he's in St. Joe. Can you imagine the difference in heat and humidity in going from August in Seattle to August in St. Joe, Missouri, where this year, Ron, I know you're not in the area, Serda, you are. Dude, it has been horrifically hot, like oppressively hot.
It's crazy. I was there.
I don't blame him whatsoever.
It's been 190% humidity every day this week.
I'm not gonna lie. The week I was there for a week 2 weeks ago, and it was pleasant. It was raining a lot. It was pleasant.
You were actually here on a good week. It's been miserable since.
It was great that week, Ron. It was beautiful. It has been awful ever since. We're paying for that week right now.
So it's been Houston.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Houston, but like I haven't been in Houston in a minute, but it's like every bit as bad, if not worse, than what I remember Houston was for that summer. Well,
maybe that's what it is. I just said, damn, man, he has just about lost it. I mean, I didn't know Felix had that in him. The flip was like, damn, man, what's going on here? Somebody get over to him. That we need a couple of days before we grip it up on that one. But anyway, I not only believe that Mahomes needs to play, I think he needs to get hit. I don't mean that somebody needs to go low on him. Don't need a Trent Green situation to happen to him. We have Dick Vermeil have to say we're going to rally around Kurt Warner. He's going to play good foot. We don't need any of that. But I wouldn't mind him getting kind of little contact, little push, go down, maybe a tackle. I just feel like his first action in a real football game cannot be Cooper, Zach Allen, and that damn nut Nick Bonito on the outside rushing in on him. That cannot be the first action because he's not getting a real look in camp, right? Nobody's getting close to him, and I understand that. But I just think he needs to have something before the Denver game.
I'm good with it. I would like him to play in one of these games. If he's going to, it's going to be the next one. It won't be this one.
That's fine.
I'm good with him getting one appearance, and even if it's just one drive, honestly, against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I'd like him to just feel it. Go out with your team, get that experience of what it's going to be like to come out of the tunnel, get hit for the first time, like you mentioned, Ron, and just have the confidence that your knee is going to respond well. Because how many times have we heard this where guys say, listen, physically I was fine. My knee wasn't a problem. I didn't have any limitations when it came to what I was able to do. They would test them and all of the numbers in the weight room and the athleticism, all of that was back. It was the confidence in doing the things that they used to do that took the longest. Where planting and cutting on a dime or making that the stuff that we used to see Mahomes where it's hard to get him all the way to the ground because he just finds ways to contort his body or the different platforms that he throws from, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's going to be the stuff that's really hard to replicate in practice when just in your heart of heart, in your mind, this guy's not going to touch me. Otherwise he's going to have hell to pay from the coaches, from the other players, everybody else. You're not protected once you step onto that field and you're going up against another team, especially when it's the Denver Broncos, who have one of the best pass rushes in the NFL. So I'm with you. I would like to see just, even again, if it's one series against the Bucs, I would prefer to see it that way. But I also don't necessarily mind the way that they approach this thing in general. I think the best way that you get better at football is to continue to play football. And I think the reason that you see so much sloppy football early in the season is because these teams aren't hitting. They're not tackling. They're not doing the things that you actually do in a football game. So I think part of why the Chiefs get off to historically a pretty good start to the year is because of the way that Andy Reid has done camps and whatnot. So I think some of it is by design. But on Mahomes specifically, I would like to see him get at least one game, at least one series with the starters.
I don't disagree. I think,
sounds like you do, Serda.
Well, after all of these years of everybody being why are we playing him in the preseason? The 1 year we actually want to see it is as if there's any doubt to what he can be when he's healthy. No, I don't need to see anything from him necessarily. For me, the preseason is more about just seeing what the Chiefs do offensively. Are they actually going to run the ball more? Is all this under center stuff in training camp for real?
But they're not going to show nothing. They're not going to
sure, but it's also just there's so many young players on this team. There's so many question marks. That's all the preseason's about to me. I don't need to see anything from Patrick Mahomes, but it would be fine if he did play a little bit, but I simply don't need to see that from him at this point. It is much more about all of the other guys on the roster for me. And trying to see some flashes from some of these guys, even though we genuinely don't learn anything in the preseason. So I'm fine with him sitting. I'm fine with Andy. Actually, it seemed like Andy was honest about it when he was yeah, I don't know, probably not. That's about as straightforward of an answer as I think we're going to get from Andy Reid on that.
Yeah, but based off what you said though, sort of, because I do think this is going to be more about the other guys because he's not going to play. But I disagree from the standpoint of I don't think anybody knows exactly how he's going to react 100% when he's faced with, as BK said, hey, this is not guys going to run and fly past me. Like when I spin out, I got to really spin out just with instinct, without the thought that this guy's going to tackle me and hit me. And he's like, guys, he's going to get hit and tackled by the Denver Broncos. Right? Like that's going to happen. I mean, he's probably going to get sacked. And if he doesn't get sacked, he's going to get hit. Right? Like it has to be in his mind, like of where he is with that. Like, and that has to be in his frame. And to what BK said also, not just about getting hit, but having to seriously avoid hits the way he does. Right? I don't need his ass to go take off or nothing against the Rams or the Bucks if he plays in those games, or the Bucks. I don't even do that. But yeah, moving around, possibly a throw and a push, hey, what you see in the game, I still think there is some of that. All right, who are you guys? Because the Chiefs have had an interesting camp where they have had guys kind of step up and show themselves to be something. They've had guys that have made decisions harder than maybe we thought would be coming out of camp potentially. Who are you guys looking at? I don't think we're going to see Mahomes. I don't think we're going to see Chris Jones. I don't think we're going to see Travis. I don't think we're going to see Simmons, although that monster, Jesus. Has he lost a rep yet? Anyway, I don't think we're going to see those guys. But who are you excited and looking forward to see that you think could actually make a move with a good performance?
So let's start out with the obvious. I want to see the rookies, and that's particularly of interest to me when it comes to the top guys. Like R. Mason Thomas, Peter Woods, I'm very curious to see what they look like. They're going to be super important players for the Chiefs this year. They're going to have legit roles. I want to see what they look like in a game against an opposing team where this is real live reps. Let's see what you're able to do. And I would imagine a guy like Peter Woods is going to get some real playing time. Same thing for R. Mason Thomas. Like, those guys are not established starters for you going into the season. They'll have roles, but they're not legit first team guys. Like George Karlaftis, he'll probably get one rep, one series. He's out of the game. I would imagine R. Mason Thomas replaces him. So you're going to see a decent amount of reps out of him.
Yeah, no, he is, especially, and we'll get to what they've had on their D line, but he's obviously going to be a major key right now. Again, we'll talk about that D line here in a bit. Ashton Gelati looks like he's just going to be your starter. So yeah, I mean, he is huge, but let's just be honest. Like R. Mason Thomas, Peter Woods, and they've had Peter Woods especially has had good camps. The rookie that everybody wants to see is Cyrus Allen.
I was going to leave him for you.
The rookie that everybody wants to see. Now, listen, I won't let Cyrus get me. I won't let him. I'm a veteran now in this thing, so I'm not gonna watch these tapes and these videos that allow me to get me. But I think he has moved from the space of being a camp crush, look at this guy. This guy's fun, okay, to he's a real, he potentially is going to be a real factor with this team. Right, and I don't mean that because somebody gets hurt. I think he's going to be a real factor. They have found a real gem potentially here. And again, this is hard to determine in a training camp, but it does appear there is something with Patrick, like some level of trust, something there with him because he goes to him. And I can see that we're going to get to a space in the year that he's getting more snaps than Tyquan Thornton, who I think is listed ahead of him. We'll see what happens with Xavier Worthy, but He runs really good routes. He doesn't drop the ball. He has great hands. He gets where he's supposed to be. There's some explosiveness there. He's the one that I think people really want to see.
He's number one on the list. There is no close second. I mean, I think he's going to have a real role from day one.
Yes.
I pushed back against the hype. I said, hey, I want to see it. I think this is more about 2027 than it is about 2026. And I still feel that is true. I think he's a guy that in 2027 could be a huge piece of the offense, like maybe one of the key pieces of the offense. But for this year, I think he's your number 4 receiver. And that's
right now. Yeah.
Like, he could be for you what Tyquan Thornton was last year. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to have the same role immediately as Tyquan did, and he's not going to play the same style as what Tyquan did. Thornton was a guy that was fully going deep, right? Like that was the role. He was a guy that was going to take the top off of the defense. That is not Cyrus Allen. Cyrus Allen is a guy who wins more across the middle of the field. It seems as though they're expanding his role to where he can do more than just that with the Chiefs at camp, but that's going to be primarily kind of where he lives, is in that slot area. I will be very curious to see what that means for Xavier Worthy and for Rashee Rice, because over the last couple of years, that's also been where they've done their best work. That's where Travis Kelce does his best work. So they're going to have to find unique and interesting ways to get them all involved out of the slot to avoid them going up against press coverage. But I think that's something that they should try to do. They should be planning to get this guy involved in the offense based upon what he's been able to do so far at camp. So I want to see how that translates into a game.
It sure seems like Cyrus Allen can win with his route running, which is something that the Chiefs haven't had in a long time. Like somebody who can just straight up win one-on-one with his ability to cut and break. And like, I think that's what's exciting for me, is that like the camp highlights haven't just been over the middle. Like Mahomes has been hitting him on sideline throws and outs and stuff like that. And they just haven't had a guy like that in forever. And like, I think Worthy and Rice are still good players. And I still think Rashee Rice is going to be a focal point of the offense, despite like all the naysayers. But we know exactly what he does. And he's very limited in that capacity. But what he can do, he can be really, really good at. And he's got like a good ceiling at what he is capable of and what he's good at. But they just simply haven't hit on one of these players in a long time, where it was like, we let the Chiefs get this guy. Everybody else passed on him. And like, they've had plenty of contributors, plenty of great players who have helped win Super Bowls and hit home runs on some draft picks, whiffed on some other ones. But like, they've been chasing a wide receiver forever. And if this guy, this 5th round pick out of Cincinnati, winds up being like just a monster grand slam of a draft pick for the Kansas City Chiefs, that would be amazing in the post Tyreek Hill era Chiefs, if they finally just hit it out of the park with a player like this and he actually manifests into that. I'm excited about it. I'm slow playing it, but it seems like it's real, because they just don't, even when guys are having great training camps, they aren't just getting all of Patrick Mahomes' attention when they're on the field.
Yeah, you're not slow playing it, Serda. You're absolutely 100% full-blown excited about this. There's nothing that touches you more than wide receivers. There is nothing. I remember how you just believed in Josh Gordon. It didn't matter how much weed that guy smoked. You believed. You believed in Josh Gordon. And I know this has opened you up. Can I be honest about a sneaky one for me? And that's old Nussmeier. Like, I'll be honest, and I hope that the Chiefs don't have to deal with this. But I mean, over the course of his career, they've had to have other quarterbacks come in and play, including playoff games. I think the Chiefs are better if Garrett Nussmeier is able to beat out Justin Fields to play at the quarterback role. I think Justin Fields could have a real impact in some, packages, short yardage. And again, maybe this is unfair, and maybe Justin Fields has gotten better with better coaching and things like that. I can't get out of my head some of the Justin Fields I've seen, including that game in London where he just couldn't do anything. I mean, couldn't complete an out.
He just doesn't get rid of the ball.
No, I just don't like. I think, and Garrett obviously is a talented kid, and I think they're better off if he is the one that plays well enough that he shows to be the next guy. So he is an intriguing one to watch for me.
I think Nuss can be an actually pretty good backup quarterback in the NFL.
Absolutely.
Like, I think he's got the potential to be a guy that, like, he could be Chase Daniel in the NFL, where he never becomes a starter for anybody, but he kind of floats around the NFL for a decade, and a bunch of teams want him because he's smart. He is, I mean, everybody knows this by now. He's a coach's son. He's a guy that's going to be able to run the offense. He's going to be able to decipher everything that you want within the offense. He's going to know where everybody needs to be. And man, he's not afraid to try things. Like, I think something that sometimes gets backup quarterbacks into a tough spot is they're just so timid. They're so afraid to make a mistake. Garrett Nussmeier has, like, I think it was, I want to say it actually was Eric Bieniemy who said this about Mahomes, where he said he had like an arrogance about him, a competitive arrogance about the way that he plays. That is Garrett Nussmeier. Nussmeier has like an arrogance about what he's going to be able to do with his arm, and it gets him into trouble sometimes, or at least it did in college. But he's going to try stuff that a lot of other backup quarterbacks won't or can't. And I'm curious to see what that looks like against NFL defenders. It was fun to watch in college at times. And if he's got good talent around him and good coaching, which he didn't always have in college, I'm very curious to see what he looks like. I agree, Ron. I think this guy could be a backup for the Chiefs for 5 years if all things go according to plan. And
I think he will. Can he get to a space where he gains their trust over Fields right now? Because I don't feel amazing about the factors of Justin Fields having to throw the football. I think Justin Fields, we're talking about the creativity. I think there's going to be, we watched Michael Vick get used. There's going to be packages where they use him, which I think will help the team. But if there's somebody that has to come in for an extended period of time, like we've seen in the Cleveland game, in the playoff game where Mahomes had to come out, like that stretch where Moore had to play for him. Jacksonville, the playoff game where Chad Henne, and the amount of times Chad Henne has had to jump in. Well, I don't know how great I feel about Justin Fields being in that.
We haven't mentioned yet, Ron, a player like all of the guys that we've talked about will not be on the field when the team goes out there for their first play. Like, I would be kind of surprised if any of them, maybe Cyrus Allen, depending on how they want to do with Rasheed, but other than that, I don't think anybody else will. Khalil Benson's going to be out there.
Hold on. How did you jump to this? Now, they brought out their first depth chart, and they still had Jalen Moore as the starter.
Well, I don't think Trey Smith's going to play in this game. So I think you're going to see him in at guard to open things up. But I think he's going to play a ton in this game, Ron, because I think he'll play guard with the ones. And then I think there's a pretty good chance that Benson will kick out to tackle with the second unit. So that way they can get a look at him at both spots, because they need him at guard because he's the best guy that they have right now. And then I think they do want to see a legit look from him at right tackle as well. Yeah. Because I think whenever Trey Smith comes back, he's still your starter at right tackle, man. I don't think Jalen Moore is the
starter. How did you flip this hard? You kept telling me we'll
flip this hard, man. They didn't change anything. Until Trey Smith got hurt, he was the locked-in, entrenched starter for a week straight. That is different than what you typically see here. Normally what you'll see is, all right, we'll give him a look. It'll be
You didn't even want to talk about it the last time we talked about it.
Correct, but we haven't talked for 2 weeks and things have changed. I don't view this as a positive. I'm worried. I am officially concerned about the right tackle position. It's the first time that I've been ready to acknowledge, all right, maybe some of that tackle buzz was real, because it's becoming clear to me, Ron, they don't trust Jalen Moore. They don't think he can start for them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be looking at an undrafted rookie free agent tackle who they didn't give this guy a contract until after rookie minicamp. This was not one of their priority signings. This is a guy that like latched onto the roster as one of the final pieces, and now he's your starting right tackle for opening night. That is concerning to me. I know people are looking at this as a great story, and it's great for Khalil Benson. I don't know if this is good for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't know if he's the starter. I mean, I don't know if he's the starter yet.
They put him at the podium. Like they don't.
Yeah, he's gonna be on the team.
They don't just throw any.
He's gonna
camp
start.
body.
Ron. This guy's getting the majority of it.
We'll see.
They don't just throw any camp body in front of the media. Like they put him at the podium.
Undrafted free agent rookies, dude.
Yeah, he's a big deal. He's a camp darling.
Yeah, he's a big deal because he's a starter. He's gonna be playing with the one. They might rest him in this game. Like
shut up. Stop.
I'm kidding on that part. The rest I'm serious about, though. This guy
he's
is a starting right tackle, dude.
You've made it seem like we've moved past the competition to where he is the starter.
Because the Chiefs' actions say that
Let's calm down. I think he has a legit chance to be there Monday night against Denver, but let's just calm down. Let's calm down.
I'm not going to calm down. You can't tell me to calm down. I'm worried.
Absolutely. I can tell you. Now, you may not calm down, but I can absolutely tell you to calm down.
I understand why Chiefs fans are excited about somebody new coming in and winning this job. I think it's a really cool story. Like, this guy was a completely unheralded prospect coming into the NFL, and the fact that he might be a starter on a Super Bowl contender, man, what a come up for Khalil Benson. And what a find for the Chiefs if they're able to get it, and he's a competent right tackle. But I want to make sure that the expectations are set accordingly. The expectations are not for him to come in and be what Josh Simmons was last year. The expectations are probably for him to be kind of more similar to what Kingsley Suamataia was a couple of years ago, or like what Esapole was for the Chiefs when he was starting for them, or Chugadrick was when he was starting for them. I mean, that's more the level of what we're talking about when it comes to the caliber of player. So my hope is he just survives at the position. And that's really it.
This is the only thing I'll say to this. And I didn't know we were going to be here. I will say this. One, I do trust them and their thinking and their expertise. Two, and maybe this is where we may differ. What have you thought about Jalen Moore based off what you have seen from him?
I don't think he's very good.
The time
I said that last year. Yeah, no.
You don't think you don't even think he's adequate.
I don't think he's an average tackle as a starter. I think he's a below average to bad starting right tackle.
He's been below average, had a couple of like decent games, but certainly
he had a good game against Detroit.
Like hasn't shown like one of the worst pass rushers in the league last year.
Including
like
Hutchinson.
He hasn't shown anything that would make you think that like, oh, there's more there. Like
to me, I felt like he's been adequate, and maybe this is where we disagree. I feel like he's been an adequate guard, a tackle. I feel like he's kind of been in the role in the same neighborhood of some of the guys they've had out there. From what Wiley or whatever his name was before that. Some of these other guys. And my thinking is, I think he's adequate. If this kid is beating him out, then I would think that they think he's better than that. And so that's for me where I'm not as concerned. But we'll see. We will see about it. One person we will not see, which is going to be disappointing. I don't think we will. Hopefully we're getting close to, is actually their number one pick. We talked about all these guys we're intrigued about seeing, but Mansour Delane, we're not going to be able to see it. We haven't really been able to see him because he's been wearing the same damn colored jersey that Mahomes has been wearing, which is mean don't hit him. But he has gotten closer and has participated in some things. But hopefully that we start to get to see him soon.
I think it's great news that he is on his way back to being at 100%. Based upon Brett Veach's comments, it sounds like sometime next week, potentially, we could see Mansour Delane back on the field without the non-contact jersey. I started to get a little nervous on this one, Ron. Like,
absolutely.
We were going to potentially do a show last week. Things got in the way. But during that show, I was going to bring up how, hey, man, this is your top 6 overall selection who hasn't been able to really get legit reps so far in camp. And we know how Steve Spagnuolo operates. If you don't get those reps, like you guys remember, it was with a veteran last year. Christian Fulton didn't get the reps in camp and kind of never responded because of it.
Yeah, they hate his guts.
That's also true.
It's just a bad player. This was a bad fit.
Yeah, well, they also hate his guts.
Touche. But we know how they operate in general with young guys, where it takes a lot for them to get them on the field. And Mansour Delane was a guy that I think you should have counted on to be a starter on opening night. If he wasn't going to get any time in training camp, that would have been a little harder to figure. But now with him coming back next week, I think he's well on the path to being that guy next to Noel Williams as your starting corners. And based upon everything that we've been hearing out of camp, I think that's a pretty good 1-2 punch there, man. I've got some confidence in the outside guys. Now it's a matter of making sure they've got the right player in the slot.
I'm happy that it seems like they're taking care of it. Like, it seems like, okay, maybe it's an issue. It's something we need to take care of. And they're not pushing it because they're not like, okay, we traded up for this guy. He's going to be like a cornerstone blue chip player. We got to get him out there because he's going to be a focal point of our defense moving forward. And I'm worried about the depth of the cornerback room and like what happens if that guy misses significant time. And so I'm fine with him not being out there right now, even though that is like valuable time in the Steve Spagnuolo defense that he needs to have. And Spags talked about that a little bit. It's like, yeah, we got to get him out there. Like, we really got to get him in the mix the way that we want to. But if he's that talented of a player, it should be fine. Like, if he's that talented of a player that they're simply just like, we just got to get him out there and let him make plays, it should be fine as long as he's healthy, because I don't think that the cornerback room is a huge problem, but depth is. And so they just simply need him to be healthy.
And to me, you got to feel, one, it's a shoulder. And with it being a shoulder, you have to feel good that they are at least putting him out in areas where, contact. He's not just no contact. Like, he's in a space where, like, there can be contact. Now, maybe he's not tackling people or going to the ground or something, but like, he's doing one-on-ones, bump and run coverage with Rashee Rice. Like, he's in coverage. So if they didn't feel real good about it or were really concerned, he wouldn't be doing that. So you look at him, the next step, the only thing next that he can do is just be full go. And he has been in this space pretty well. So, he is going to be needed. And if he is able to get out there and get some burn against the Bucs, like, he's some, I don't know about you all. He is somebody that I have not reached the concern level of, well, I don't know if he's going to be ready to go against Denver. I think he'll be. I don't have any concern of that right now.
I agree. There's one other guy that I want to throw into the mix here, Ron, if we're doing our last players to watch in the preseason. Game 1, Xavier Wanpa. Have you heard about this guy?
Yeah. No, I haven't. I know he's a safety.
No, Jaden Kennedy love.
I think he's your number 3 safety going into opening night. I think he has replaced Jaden Hicks in that area. And I want to see what that looks like. He's a big hitter. I don't think Jaden Hicks is a guy they trust. I think we saw that last year. They need somebody because we know how much Steve Spagnuolo likes to play with 3 safeties on the field. So whoever that third safety is going to get some legit reps this year. If you want to see a player that's probably going to be playing like into the second quarter, maybe the third, and you're curious, like, hey, who should I be watching? That's a guy that I would have circled. Number 29 on the field. He's a big bopper, played at Iowa, undrafted free agent rookie guy. I think he's going to have a legit role for the team this year, and that would be somebody that I would monitor as we get into the second and third quarter of this game.
All right. Another player that probably won't play, But we'll probably see more of him next week. I hate that this is such a big story for the Chiefs because the player is not a big player, but it is a big story because it's an addition to an area of need. And I'll be honest with you, I need some help with this. The Chiefs, they went ahead and signed, had a little reunion, a 1-year deal with Emmanuel Agba. He was a solid rotational player for them before till he tore his pec. I'll be honest, like who are they getting? Because last year it was not good. Half a sack, and he was not great even against the run, which was something that you always kind of thought was his strength. The 2 years before that in Miami, he had 5 sacks apiece. You're talking about 5 sacks from a rotational player. I'll press the button on that. And he was always a solid, player setting the edge against the run. So I can get that. And I know for you, BK, you talked about that's a lot of what they need. I just need some help because I don't know exactly what this means. He's not a great player. He's 32 years old. He's going to be a rotational piece, and he is coming off one of the worst years of his career. All right. Generally, 32-year-olds coming off the worst year of their career when they've never been superstars, you don't generally think that they jump back at it. Who knows? There was a lot going on where he was, so maybe that change of scenery helps. But I just don't know. Does this mean that they feel really good about their depth and their front line, and they just needed to add some depth? Or are they like, oh shoot, like we need some help, and we just kind of need some veteran help, and we maybe waited too late, and guys like Clowney and guys like Cameron Jordan and all these other guys have left, and we just got to go scoop up somebody. So let's get somebody that at least we know. I just don't know what this means because Serda and BK, I told you coming into this deal, the number one issue was the pass rush in that front line. There are some intriguing pieces, especially on the interior with Woods and Tonga and all the guys they have there. But I still look at this group and don't know if this group is good enough, especially with this version of Chris Jones. I look at this group and wonder if this group is good enough. So I can't get a read on what this signing means.
The ceiling for the group was always going to be determined, and I'm talking about the edge group here, by Karlaftis, R. Mason Thomas, those two guys in particular. Like, what are they able to be for you this year? Can George Karlaftis return to the guy that he was prior to the hand injury last year? If he can, and he's a double-digit sack guy, okay, great. That's a legit top-tier pass rusher for a contender, right? Especially as the Robin to Chris Jones's Batman. If R. Mason Thomas can then, on top of that, come in and give you 6 to 8 sacks this year, consistent pressure on third downs. Okay, fantastic. Now you're in a really good spot. But that was always going to be where the ceiling came from. The floor is what I think they're more concerned about. And I think that is where my fear lied a few weeks ago as we got into training camp. I don't know how great to feel about Felix Anudike-Uzomah. Maybe he's going to be just fine, and he's a guy that as a fourth defensive end, he gives you everything you could ask for. That's entirely possible. I think what you do with this kind of a signing run, and I don't love it. I would have preferred that they make a different move, but it is what it is. I think with Emmanuel Agba, you now know who your 5 defensive ends are. It's Karlaftis, Gelati, Thomas, FAU, Agba. And Agba, to me, is the 5th guy in that group. And he's the guy that if, for whatever reason, somebody else goes down, he can come in and he can play 15, 20 snaps for you, and they're going to be fine. He will give you passable level of play at this point in his career. I do not think you should be expecting big-time production. I do not think he's a guy that's going to give you 5+ sacks this year, and if they're expecting that, I think they're fooling themselves. But I do think he can have a role, and that role is probably like 5 to 10 snaps a game. I think that's the kind of thing you should be expecting out of Emmanuel Agba right now.
Yeah, they didn't have a lot of money to attack the position or something like that. And I think so far, the reports on Peter Woods and R. Mason Thomas are promising. And then You hope that you get more out of George this season and bank on the idea that like the injury last season held him back and just not having a lot around him and the Chiefs like poor decisions and kind of running it back with that defensive line, like new things around him, new pieces, trying to change things up with a little bit more speed and explosiveness. Like you can get back there. And then Peter was to get banged up in practice today, so we'll see if he actually plays on Saturday. It's worth mentioning, but I'm willing to take it as a positive.
Really, a positive.
That like they didn't go out and like try to attack somebody a little bit more relevant. And there's not a lot of guys, obviously, but like guys that are like floating around out there. And this is typical Chiefs thing. Like they pretty much always do this during training camp. We'll bring in a veteran player like this. They evaluate the positions and they're pretty much always like, we could use another pass rusher, and we'll go out and sign somebody. I didn't think it was going to be Emmanuel Ogbah, but he's Spag's prototypical body type. Can play a little bit inside if he really needs to. Like he's big enough to do that. And so I think it makes sense. He knows it. And really, I mean, Ogbah, some of the best years of his career were here in Kansas City. So I don't think it's a terrible signing, and I don't think it's like poo-pooing the promise of the young players on the team. It's just something that we've been waiting for them to do because we know they needed more depth there.
Yeah, listen, I hope this was a move in which there was just like we just need something better than the McDonald's or whoever else they have there. And I hope this isn't an OS move. Because I mean, outside of George, and as you all said, George is somebody you're looking to hope to get back to form, and that was just the injury. But outside of George, what do you know what you're getting? I'm excited about R. Mason Thomas, but he's never stepped down and played it down, right? I'm excited about, Woods. I mean, maybe Gelati takes a step. We'll see, but none of those are. I don't know. I just look at the group, and maybe I should do what I said on the other side and trust them a lot more. I just look at this group, and I'm like, I'd feel better if this was Chris Jones in his prime. And I knew that there were just moments of multiple quarters where he could just take over the game and make up for other things. I think that is the ability to do that is far fewer than it was back then. So I don't know. We'll see what this shakes up, but we said they needed D-line help, and they finally added it. Just Emmanuel Ogbah. Where was Passanio? Maybe I thought maybe he might be the guy.
I just wish they would have signed Derek Barnett.
Please,
he made all the sense in the world. He could have come in, and he would have been more than just what I was talking about. Like
he could have started.
He could have taken over as their number 2 defensive end. But I think what Serda said is real. Like they don't have the money to sign a guy like Derek Barnett right now. Now they could. Like, if they wanted to get it, there are ways for them to do so. They could extend Creed Humphrey if they want to. Like that's something they're going to have to do eventually. They will do it eventually. They're choosing not to do that right now. If they wanted to make move and go ahead and either trade or cut Christian Fulton, I don't know that he's making the team. I would bet against it right now. That opens up some cap space. If they wanted to do something with more, they could if they really needed to. Like there are ways for them to create the space. They're opting against it, and I do wonder if that means there's some kind of a cash limitation, which is very different than what the cap is limited by, and that's an ownership call.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, they made their move. All right, first preseason game about to come through.
4.5 point line. Over under is 47.5. The Rams, heavy favorite in this one, despite the fact that they do not play their starters.
Never play their starters.
Chiefs plus 170 on the money line feels like a good play to me, Serda.
I'll take the under on the game.
And the money line for the Chiefs?
I'll take the Chiefs.
Okay. Parlay that together. Maybe a Cyrus Allen touchdown in this one, or
he's not going to play enough.
Good call. Ron?
We are out.